One of the very best parts about APAP are the opportunities you have to attend showcases. The thing that none of us remember that we should all take to heart is that showcases we should treat with the same kind of great audience etiquette that we would have in our own theaters. What that means is usually a showcase is about 20 minutes long. Now, that can vary widely. You might be seeing a full length presentation, you might be seeing a shorter presentation, but no matter the length of the showcase, remember that it is the bread and butter and most important moment of the artist's time at the conference. So be respectful. Don't take flash photographs. Don't leave in the middle of a song or selection. Try to limit the amount of conversation you're having with colleagues near you. If you know you're going to have to leave early, do not take a spot in the first row. Please stand towards the back. I think great audience etiquette is super important. One thing about showcases that also is really important is figure out a way that you can have a trigger to remember who you've seen. So for me, I do take a non-flash photograph before the artist is started of whatever it is so that I can remember the artist that I've had the opportunity to see or hear so that I can follow up after the fact, not during the showcase, with that artist, agent, or manager. So I think those are some tips to keep in mind when you're attending showcases. I guess the other thing I would say is, and I've mentioned this before, but try to prioritize experiencing some showcases for artists that you aren't familiar with or art forms that you may or may not present today. One thing that's been wonderful is I've discovered that even though it's not something I'm currently involved with programming, the opportunities down the road may be there. Or you'll have the opportunity to have someone say, hey, I really am looking for a good magician or a really good comedian. And it may not be something you're currently presenting, but you could say, I saw a showcase a couple of years ago. You should check out insert name of artist here. So be open-minded to experiencing showcases that aren't in your natural consideration set for programming.
Best tips for attending showcases. It's unlikely that that showcase is taking place in exactly the best space and place for that showcase. So just have that in the back of your head. I know that this particular PA system or 9 a.m. in a hotel conference room might not be exactly the vibe of this particular band in your venue at 9 o'clock on a Saturday night. So keeping that awareness in the back of your head, even though I expect and would hope people come in with that, it is top of mind for me.
Attending showcases, requires a certain amount of imagination. You have to go in understanding, the artists have a very limited amount of time to load in. You're seeing an abbreviated version of their work. And so I think it's really behooves presenters when they attend showcases to make sure you understand that context and sort of use your own imaginative abilities to see how you are getting a glimpse of something. You are not seeing the full performance. And obviously that is why agents are there. That is why the artists often come out afterwards to have a quick chat. But I think the biggest piece about showcasing is understand, what the medium that you are attending really is, and that it's not a full performance. And then the other piece of showcasing is, again, it's a place where you really help to do your research ahead of time, sort of, understand what these different blocks are. And I also always say, make sure you leave the Hilton. There are showcases happening all over the city, and make sure you plan your geography very well. But, make sure you take advantage of the wide swath of opportunities that are happening across the APAP ecosystem in January.